Hello one and all, it's Codeweaver Plays Games, and I'm back. I just finished off a session of Nova Drift, very brief couple of rounds, which went okay. But before that I was playing Outer Wilds. I was doing it in VR and it was fantastic. And I'm going to go back and do that a little bit later this evening, because the only reason I stopped is I just ran out of juice on my Quest 2. Really wish you could charge as it played. Yeah, but I guess got some local siren color going on in the background here. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I had to put it down because because my Quest wasn't charging up as fast as my usage of it. But now I'm going to move on to playing a game that I've never played before as a stopgap until my VR hardware is recharged. I'm going to play Sunless Sea, and it's got kind of a Lovecraftian mood to it, sort of a very old London mystique. Don't know very much about it. I don't even know really the game style exactly, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. Oh, lots of sirens and honking. Well, that'll add for a little bit of color. Let's pretend that's totally canon in the local, or in the ye olde London world that we're about to delve into here. So I just got to check the audio levels on this. We're going to switch over to here we go, Sunless Sea. So hang on a second. I'm going to quickly. Hang on a second. Yeah. Okay. So my voice is coming through. The desktop audio appears to be going through. And let's just get on with this because I know absolutely nothing about this. I literally haven't even gotten past this screen yet. So let's do new game. Are you sure? Yes. So leaving your prow light on reduces terror, but makes you more visible enemies and burns fuel faster. Okay. Wolfstack Harbor Authority. We regret to inform you that Captain Tobias Fulchard has perished at sea. Stop. As his nearest relative, you are entitled to his remaining goods and crew. Stop. Please collect said items at earliest convenience. Okay, that's a little creepy. I don't like collecting crew, but collecting business, I suppose. So, okay. Let's figure out how this is supposed to work. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Was stolen? Huh. All right. Now it literally was stolen by bats. All right. Fair enough. Now it lies a mile below the surface. Really noisy today outside. Is there a thing going on in my hometown here that I don't know about? Anyway. Ladies, gentlemen, and anyone who chooses to identify as either or neither, this is going to be a day where there's lots of background noise. You're just going to have to bear with me. Anyway, let's get right back into this. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone. I already love the writing. But it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to Untersee. Choose a past. Decide who you were and what you want to be. Okay. You now lodge in a room above the blind helmsman. Kind of liking the mood of this already. Now you're a captain. You belong to the Untersee. But who were you before? A street urchin, a poet, a veteran of Captain of 68, an ordained priest, a natural philosopher. Okay. Reading on the ones that sort of just by name gravitate towards me. Your peculiar theories on time, blood, and starlight brought you down to the Neath, the cavern where London lies. Now they take you out to Z. Undersea, all right? This will give you a bonus to mirrors, the skill of detection and perception. That could be a lot of fun, actually. On the other side, the street urchin. Your urchin gang cast you out when you grew too tall. You took to the sea rather than graduate to larger crimes. That last big score was enough to buy a ship. This will give you a bonus to veils, the skill of subtlety and evasion. So the others look like direct damage, bonus to hearts, a skill of healing and morale. Pages, a skill of trickery and knowledge. All right, this is a tough one. I like the urchin, the poet, and the philosopher. In classic D&D terms, you're talking sort of like a rogue, a bard, and I guess a wizard by way of, or a ranger maybe, depends on how you interpret that. But you know what? It doesn't matter. This isn't a D&D game, and that's not really why I'm going at this. Just from the things I like to do, I do like subtlety and evasion. I really like trickery and knowledge because I like the knowledge aspect of it. I want to find out about the lore of things. Detection and perception could be kind of cool too. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm not really that big into just doing damage. The healing could be cool, and morale, like keeping people happy. I think I'm going to go with trickery and knowledge. I'm going to be the poet. All right. Educated and articulate, you seek sensation at sea. How lucky you had a legacy to spend. Your long-vanished father had a rich patron, it seems. This will give you a bonus to pages, the skill of trickery and knowledge. A wise soul. Experience, you have intuition, and your friend, the sly navigator. He's a little vague, but he probably knows what he's doing. Perhaps he can find someone better eventually. Talk to the navigator to find out why he went to Z. You were a struggling poet, now you're a Z captain. Your a stranger quality is gone. Welcome to the world. Okay. You've gained 20 times echo. Echoes are the currency of the bazaar. Okay. And thus the currency of London. You gain 25 times pages, esoteric and occasionally practical knowledge. Increases the speed at which you convert fragments to secrets. Okay. You now have a one-time sly navigator. Sly navigator, competent, possibly trustworthy, possibly. Okay. Someone in London is looking for passage. Someone requires your services. Okay. What does winning mean to you? Your father's bones. Fulfillment. Learn 100 tales. Learn all you can as a Z-rated masterpiece. Retire. Wealth. Now you want a mansion. Servants find clothes. Private kingdom. Establish a colony where you're absolute ruler. I'm not really... Oh, interesting. That one's locked, so I can maybe unlock that later. I'm actually not that interested in private kingdoms or wealth. I'm going to go with fulfillment. Alright. Gather 100 tales or all you can as a Z-rated masterpiece and retire. Whenever you return to Fallen London, you have the option of retiring, but you'll need to write your masterwork first. An occurrence. Your objective ambition quality is now become London's most venerated explorer. Sure. That satisfies my what's over the next hill syndrome and my need for lore. Captain, an irregularity with Harbour Master's office. They wish to know, what term of address do you prefer ashore? So determine what people call your captain, but your captain's gender is up to you. I'm going to go as basically just captain as an address. A last piece of advice, explore, take chances. This captain will probably die, the Z is hungry, but each captain passes on lessons to the next. An occurrence. Your addressed as quality is now captain. Who are you? Alright. Choose your name. Oh, I see. Let's go with that. Kind of like that silhouette. I often play female form characters. Not always, but let's call her Cassie. We're gonna go with Cassie. Fallen London, deep, dark, and marvelous. All voyages start here, and this is where successful voyages end. Okay. London, she's the greatest city in the Untersee, and don't you forget it. So, a Blemmington sits on top of a splintered crate, clicking and whistling at captains as they come near. Visit the Admiralty's office, visit the university. Unlocked with more than 0 times Bloomington Gallivanter. I don't know. Okay, you know what? Let's go with advice for captains. Let's actually check some of this out first. It's not going to die horribly, but I'd like to at least give it a shot as I go. So, the much lamented M. de Meaux found a watery grave long ago. Probably your end will be no better, but if you read this book of invaluable advice, your chances will improve. On endings and beginnings. Captains often die. This is not the end. When you die, you'll learn lessons which help you survive next time. Beware, the layout of the Untersee changes with each new captain, but home waters are stable and islands only move so far. Okay. Legacies. Future captains can inherit some skills, offices, equipment, some money. Over time, you'll find extra items and advantages that allow you to preserve a greater inheritance. Okay. On exploration. Exploration is the heart of the game. Risk brings reward. Staying close to London is safe, but eventually you run out of fuel and supplies. Exploring and playing port stories will allow you to find secrets and echoes. Okay. Spending secrets and echoes. Speak to your officers to spend secrets on improving your abilities. Spend echoes on equipment and ports. You can often find officers in London. Alright. On mercy. Unforgiving mode is how the game is meant to be played. One autosave updated when you reach port and wipe on death. If you're getting frustrated or want a more leisurely exploration, you can switch to merciful mode. Saving and loading manually will permanently switch your character to merciful mode. This will remove the Invictus token. Completing a game with the Invictus token intact is a badge of honor. Well, I plan on possibly dying this game, so let's just go with the flow. And I'm feeling like I could take on the normal mode, but know that I'm going to die horribly. Anyway, on machines, your prow lamp dispels darkness, reduces terror increase, allows you to find Z marks. Your engines, of course, drive the ship forward into the night. Both your prow lamp and your engines use fuel. More powerful engines use more fuel, but all lamps use fuel at the same rate. Try not to run out of fuel. Note that the Admiralty will compensate you with fuel for port reports. Okay. What else? Finding places to explore. Use your Z-Bat Scout. Technically, it's a chiropteroscope, but we're among friends here. Okay. Z-Bat. Press Z or Z, Z, whatever, or click the Z-Bat button at the bottom of the screen. It will tell you where the nearest undiscovered island is. Be warned, if you're moving, it will give a less accurate direction. It's possibly the most accurate reading. All right. It's like a radar. Okay. On stories. No, wait. On fighting. Yes, on fighting. When your enemy is in the arc of your guns, you'll see the firing solution. The glow around the fire buttons increase. When it's complete, let them have at it. You cannot fire it earlier if you like, but you may miss. Larger ships may have access to different gun slots. Okay? Avoiding enemy attacks. A green glow means your enemy is in the light. Enemy ships also have an arc on their guns. Try to stay out of their way. Enemy Z-beasts will generally try to ram or bite you, and they'll submerge between times to avoid your attacks. If you're careful and turn your lights off, you may also be able to sneak up behind them and get a shot in first. Okay. On stories. When you put into port, you can generally explore and exhaust the story options until your next visit. If you have something awaits you quality when at Z, you know that there is more story waiting for you when you make port. It'll crop up whenever you're sailing around. If you see a flavor message like distant bells, that means you have something awaits. Okay, sort of questy stuff. On terror. Terror increases gradually over time while you're out at Z, away from land. Watch the skull. When you see orange or red pips, terror will bump up if you spend much longer in the frightening place. Many events will increase it too. Okay, so a sanity meter, sort of. On new stories. Is there more on terror? Yes. How do I reduce it? Use shore leave in London or another ports, but London is the most cost-effective to reduce it. Lots and lots of other stories increase or reduce terror. Okay. So, psychological repair. On new stories. We'll add new stories to the game from time to time. You can download them from the main menu. Okay. Registering on Fallen London. You'll need to register an account with our system to download stories. Coincidentally, this also gives you a login on our odd, rich cult browser game at fallenlondon.com. You should definitely give it a try if you like the world of Sunless Sea. 100% optional. Alright, well, we'll deal with that later. Sell this book. Your veteran captain require no more advice? Very well, then. Okay. Sold! Someone will better appreciate M. de Meaux's work. You gain 50 times Echo. You no longer have any of this advice for captains. Okay, that's an interesting way to do sort of a tutorial. Large amount of brain dump. So, Fall in London, Deep, Dark, and Marvelous. Okay. Let's check out a passenger. Someone on the docks wants to board your ship. Agree to carry the unsettled salvager to Venderbite. She visits Wolfstack every day in Z-stained rags, begging for passage. No captain will look her in the eye. Why not? Welcome to board. She embraces you. I'd kiss you, Captain, but my beloved is prone to jealousy. We were parted, but the ancient captains of Venderbite will know where she is. Okay. Okay, continue. London. Okay, let's check out this Blemmington Gallivanter. A Blemmington sits on top of a splintered crate, clicking and whistling at the captains as they come near. You extend your hand, and the Blemmington leaps on. Its tendrils entwine with your fingers, okay, and it chitters quietly, meets your gaze, and bobs its dome in greeting. It's very small. Is it old enough for naval service? You're pretty sure its mustache has been drawn on in pen in an attempt to look older. As you approach your ship's gangplank, the creature flutes and vibrates with apparent happiness. The bosun winces as you bring it aboard. Weird. Okay. So I don't have information, so I don't think this is going to be relevant right now. Visit the university. It is an inexhaustible appetite for secrets, Z specimens, and other tidbits of esoteric lore. Provide a secret to provide yourself worthy of entry. So I have to unlock that by finding secrets. Okay. Carouse in Wolfstack docks. There's no danger here. Try to enjoy yourself. This will reduce your terror. You might run into trouble or romance. Okay. Hire on more crew. Sensible sailors are looking for a safe run to the tomb colonies, or at least a sane run to the southern archipelago. You need to buy drinks, spread around hiring fees, look for daredevils. Alright, let's take a look. Your tall tales find a ready audience. Scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard to find places to sling hammocks. You succeeded in a heart's challenge. The higher the quality, the higher the chance of success. Okay. So I guess the fact that I'm a bard probably helped here. I was able to convince people. You've lost 30 times Echo. That's fine. You're taking on 2 new crew. All right. I'm good with that. What else do we have here? I don't want to put my ship in dry dock. Offer passage to a tomb colonist. An immigrant will pay to be taken north to Venderbite. Sure. It's oddly difficult to die and fall in London, but when a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew cart, these ones aboard in paddled coffins. They'll sleep here until the journey is done. The tomb colonists in your hold, take them north to the colony of Venderbite and Sunless. So at least I have a vague direction of where I want to go. Is that it? A new recruit who awaits your attention. Locked, though. Okay. So we've done a lot of the things that I want to do here. Got a number of things in the hold. I don't really have any accomplishments yet. I have a first officer, my navigator. I have a mascot. The comatose ferret, mostly it's immobile, occasionally it's feral. Extra hearts. Oh, I can speak to the officers. Oh, and I have another mascot, which is what a keen little mushroom. Mirrors +3 and pages +2. If once I speak to you, I attract its attention. Ouch! The comatose ferret resents the disturbance. It springs to life like a figure in an enchanted painting in a story, sinking a sudden fang into your thumb. You now have 1 minus worry and terror. Okay, I don't really like you. I'm going to assign you, and I'm going to speak to you instead. It has made its home on a shelf in your cabinet. It has built a nest from the loose journal pages, the engineer's scarf, and possibly pilfered map. You can see the indentation of a portal on the rim of its cap. It must have been pressing its face to the windows again. Is it bored? A ticklish thing. The Bloomington flies and squirms as you tickle it. Its high-pitched warble is almost certainly giggling. When you stop to check that you're not actually hurting it, it wraps its tendrils around your fingers and pulls your hand back. Apparently it's enjoying itself. It's kind of cute. Can I... So I have additional available officers, but I kind of want the Bloomington Gallivanter. I think he makes a better mascot for me. I mean, I don't have the heart advantage, but I do have stories, I think. So I'm going to stick with that. Shops. Common goods. Miss Plenty shipside providers. Profitable saltline for the notorious carnival entrepreneurs. I don't know how any of this cargo matters exactly yet. Okay, in the tutorial, your officers, let's go to assign. Okay, shops. Here you can buy fuel, supplies, ship equipment, and trade goods. Shops are displayed on the left. Click on one to see its wares. Yeah, okay. So none of this is terribly surprising, but I'm going to leave that window open. Caro's naval surplus, found use for the equipment. Torpedo components. Leadbeater and Stainrod reconditioned frigate surplus deck gun Mark II. Okay. Actually, good point to say. What do I have on deck? I have engines. Don't think it doesn't look like I have guns on this ship, and that might be worth... Yeah, I don't. Because... Okay. Kind of think I want to be able to defend myself. I may be able to make a run later on where I issue weaponry for other supplies, but I don't know how this all works yet. Multitude's House of Vision. Multitude's political convictions may be suspect, but a ship's lights are reliably excellent. So that's how I upgrade my lights, which I can get to eventually. Iron and Misery. So this is where I get my engines. I'm going to go with smaller engines and bigger guns just this moment. So let's try. How do I do this? Can I assay that? This would fetch 10 echoes. Can I not... I don't know how to equip this. Anything in the tutorials about this? Echoes. London's currency is the echo. To earn money, explore the map and bring back port reports. You can trade too, but exploration stories. Okay, so that's fine. Exploration stories are much more profitable. So I didn't buy that with the intent of trading. I bought that with the intent of actually... Okay. Okay, shipyard. Your current ship, that's fine. What I was hoping, though... Okay, so I don't know how to apply a weapon slot. Do I have to actually bring my ship into dry dock in order to be able to do stuff? Let's see. Let's go to story, London. Hire more crew is locked. For repairs or sometimes other purposes. Go. LS will do you a fair job for a decent price, but they have a reputation for cutting corners. If you're badly damaged and short of money, this is worth a go. The shipyard for slightly higher price. Admiralty yards, good enough for now. Your ship is in acceptable shape. Okay, so that's not the way to go. Huh. Okay. Launch is E. Gazetteer. Okay, so that's for that. Chart is M. Right, that's the long-range radar. Main menu. Your lodgings, London. All right, I don't know. Let's just... Repair ship availability to your hulls at 50% or better. Full power to the engines. Oh, I see. The Z-Bat sort of gives me a direction to go back home. Okay. So I wanted to go north. Have to imagine I don't actually want to run into these things. They must be markers. So that's Hunter's Keep. For the moment, I'm keeping the lights on because I don't know what to expect in this game. Okay. I'm not quite sure why it's paused, but hang on. Keyboard shortcut, setting sail, launch, WASD keys to moves, tap Z twice to reach max speed, slow down. Okay, that's all good. Z-Bat has discovered something. Click on the message to mark the location on your chart. I'm not sure what message it's referring to. Okay. After a short time at Z, the lamp icon will appear above the logbook. It means that there's opportunities awaits you at the next port. Combat, you've encountered an opponent, so that's why I'm stopped. The red arc shows the range of your deck gun. Keep the enemy in range while your crew works out a firing solution. Okay. Your prow light can be turned on and off. Leaving it on reduces the rate at which you gain terror, but makes you visible to enemies. Definitely going to be buying the farm here. Thing is, I don't think I actually have a gun. Oh, I do have a deck weapon. Okay. Oh, hello. Okay. How do I collect this? Just by running into it. You destroyed a pirate steam pinnace. The ship is yours. What will we do with her? Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel, and these aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. That's fine. Loot and scuttle her. Okay, so lean pickings. These pinnaces don't sail far from their hidden harbors, but there's something at the back of the hold. You have finished opening a cache of curiosities. Some sort of barrel. Tap the bung carefully. A firkin of honey. This is what they call prisoner's honey. Rung by the lamplighter bee from the exile's rose. I wonder who made up all these names, remarks able seaman Carget. Someone who has a sight too many books, I'm thinking. I have to get my pirate accent on, which will take a long, long time. You finished opening a cache of curiosities. You now have a firkin of prisoner's honey. Okay. Oh, hang on, pause. So, looking back through the logbook, discovered Carissa's Point, but going further back, let's go all the way back to the beginning here. Hunter's Keep is some distance to the northeast. Click to mark on your chart. So that's one of the messages. Discovered Bad Stevener's Abyss. Discovered Hunter's Keep. Discovered Low Barnet. There are no islands within the Z-Bat's range. And then a rock breaks like water, like surfacing Z-Beast. No. It's a Z-Beast. No, it's a rock. Okay. Dust echoes. Even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the tomb colonies. December 1st, 1887, fed the crew. December 1st, 1887, discovered Carissa's Point. Then discovered Hornman's Stag. Suffered 4 damage. Right, a sluggish wave, this ship pitches. Venderbite is some distance to the northwest. Click to mark on your chart. I do want to go to Venderbite. Okay. So looking at the map, let's sort of get a feel for this. So to the northwest is actually, well, up here, I guess. Alright, I don't know where I'm going, but let's sail around the other side of Carissa's Point. Everybody some distance to the north. So it thinks it's up there, but it did. I did get warning. Oh, so this is a big, long chunk of coastline. So we are just gonna turn around. Oh, let's turn on our headlights so let's not go nuts. Kind of liking the style of game. I'll have to see how it feels once I have to start doing complicated trading and the like, but discovered Venderbite. Okay. Thing is, how do I dock? Do I dock with this? No. That Circle of Light is a port. Go there for stories. Oh, the Circle of Light. This guy. Yes? Oh, maybe not. Maybe the Circle of Light is this thing. Okay, let's do that. On charter icon to view discoveries. To visit this port, click the dock button. That's Hornman's Stag, so I don't actually want to go there yet. Where's the dock button? Engine temperature. That's my sanity meter. Oh, there it is. Dock button when I'm in the spot. Okay, so there we go. The trouble with tomb colonists. You brought this decaying emigrant north. Now what? Days of shrooms and roses. The new tomb colonist surveys Vanderbite, shaking her head. It won't do. It won't do at all. I had no idea this place would be quite so unprepossessing. Perhaps we can liven it up. If only I knew a helpful Z captain. Bring 10 units of mushroom wine to Venderbite, and perhaps they'll have something for you. Okay, so now I have a quest for bringing wine. Um... On deck, you can hear the sound that 1,000 bandaged dead make as they shuffle and cough. Okay, what about provide what you have? Provide wine and join the celebration. Okay, I haven't got the wine yet, though. Okay, so back here. Find ancient sea captains to speak to the unsettled salvager. Shouldn't be hard. What else have they got to do around here but molder? Okay. What do we want to do here? Explore Vanderbite. Here they favor candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb colonists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture until they laugh or cough. One building in the 3 seems to be abandoned. Let's go exploring. The Lamplighters Arcade. Here they sell copper jewelry, grimacing little faces, and squat rectilinear figures. A tradition from before London, they claim. You part with a few small coins for a cheery-looking thing with an expression like a tipsy bat. Perhaps it will bring you good dreams. Okay. Visit the first curator. Z captains. The first curator gives audience to the first audience. The first curator is responsible for the preservation of the tomb colonies. It has been here much longer than London, like all of the oldest tomb colonists. But even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. Its time is close. I don't know what this means, so let's give it a go. The first curator's mans. No more light, the obsequious steward cautions you. The curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door and you step into near darkness. A pair of luminous lamplighter bees buzz in a latticed ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A banished shape no larger than a child lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts its head with obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees. Let's listen to a whispered request. Z Captain, silk skin, not much left of me. I will go into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colors, 7 colors. Pay well. So, Cosmogone, Irigo, Pelican, Steward. Steward has list. Find them here and there across the wide Black Sea. Alright. Ask about the Grand Sanatorium. Oh, Silkskin, you don't want to know. The chuckling becomes a cough. We won't die here below, not unless we go to Z. So we needed something else. Somewhere to end. Alright. Sure, I'll accept the commission. Thank you. This poor flesh thirsts for colors. It collapses, rustling on the back of the couch. Even the effort of speaking seems to have diminished it a little. The audience is over. As the door opens, it shrinks from the finger of light that reaches across the floor. Outside, the obsequious steward nods. The book? Yes, the book. He hands you a slim, illustrated volume. The curator is old as dust. We'll all be grateful if you do this one last favor. You now have one of this. Quite a lot of things. Okay, I don't know what any of this means yet. How about gathering gossip? Along the coasts of the Untersee, it's remarkably hard to die. The decrepit and nearly dead who leave London become tomb colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gather all complex clues and have to keep your contacts in London interested. You now have one of this, a port report Vanderbite. Sweet. Other things that I wish to do here. Yeah, our tramp steamer served well for a long, long time. Gotta make sure I don't run out of fuel, but I seem to be okay on that front. Supplies, though. I may need more supplies. Foxfire candles. If all made mistakes, only these mistakes can be left in the dark. Okay. The cask of mushroom rind. The finest output of the Greyfields shroom yards. Hmm. Okay. In the hold. See, I kind of wish I hadn't bought this now because I don't appear to be able to actually add it to a weapons slot because I don't think I have a weapons slot. Actually, let's go back to shipyard because my slots have bridge, engines, auxiliary, and deck. Yeah, and I don't have a lot of. I have 40 echoes. I've got to start. I don't know what I have to do here. So I bought supplies. Hollow Temple, interesting stuff. Tomb Colonist. Technically, passengers are on the goods, but you never know what to talk to them. You should. They'll pay their passage to the tomb colonies. Sell them here. So yeah, okay. So that's a thing I can do. One of the things I can do to make money. Okay. 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 So bound for vendor bite. The under salvager is willing to sail far to find her. Request for passage. Someone in London requires your services. Well, yeah, but I need more detail. Okay, here we go. Okay. Terror, wary. No, hang on. A request for passage. Someone in London requires your services. But I welcome the passenger aboard, but I don't remember what my objective is on them. So the tomb colonists bring wine to vendor bite. Is definitely one of my quests. Okay, well. Okay, I definitely don't want to battle that. Okay, let's send out a bat and find out what's going on. Kind of don't want to attract the attention of that thing just yet. I'm out of food, which is a bit of a problem. Discovered the labyrinth of eels. Oh, this is a hunger meter. Okay, so it's not an active food meter. Alright. We're booking it across the open ocean. Okay, that was interesting, but there's a big black spot up here. Oh, that's a bat swarm. I kind of don't want to deal with a bat swarm. Can we dodge the bat swarm? This is potentially a problem. Oh, great. I'm gonna get my butt kicked here. Okay, Jellyfleur's End. The Jellyfleur, is it a young jellyfish, a lesser subspecies? Do the dreams of jellyfish become real? In any case, now it's a sad slick of goo dissolving into the Z. Perhaps you need it. Perhaps your sailors can. Let it disperse. Let's give it a go. It's gone. You're left with the gooey gloves and a buttery smell. This purple thing, is it an egg, a heart? Less fortunate traveler dissolved and shriveled to mauve ruin. Put it somewhere safe. You now have a strange catch. Okay. Westergren's fire. That's interesting. So let's do a hard western course. Try to make it back to London and figure out what to do next. We could actually dock with this guy. So it's clear bright warms the way. So this is a light ship far from home. Okay. Laughter from the foredeck. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rail, searching for the lights of London. Okay. We can't speak to the crew. And everything else is locked, so we can't do a lot here. Okay. Let's launch. Okay, we have maybe just barely made it in, but let's take a look at what we got here. So, little gift, a very fine evening. Fuel reserves are empty. Okay, well, I don't know what to do here. So, Her Majesty's Customs Service works closely with the Ministry of Public Decency and the Master of the Bazaar. They have selected you for an inspection. Don't cheek them. This will reduce your suspicion if your suspicion is 5 or more. Let them do their worst. Declare all controlled goods. Pay the customs duty on any untaxed souls or romantic literature you're carrying. Romantic literature? Really? Okay. Surrender any smuggled sunlight. This will also reduce your suspicion if it's 5 or more. Talk your way out of the search. Can't do that. So let's just declare all the controlled goods. The Enduring Majesty, Her Enduring Majesty thanks you. One of the revenue intones. Did he just hide a smile? Menaces, suspicion hasn't changed because it's lower than 5. Echo remains unchanged at 10. Okay. Collect messages from the Harbor Master. Okay. What's this? Something has changed in the Neath. Okay. Someone wants to sign on. We have a that's all for now. You find a story when you next make port. Precious time away from a captain's duties. How will you spend it? Get one of these each time you return to London. Okay. Market for collectors and eccentrics. That's fine. Well, let's take a look around. Oh, hey, I see I have 3 viewers. Hi, 3 viewers. I don't know which 3 viewers you are, but say hi in chat if you like. You don't have to. Anyway, back to this strange little game. Let's start with this. Would fetch 10 echoes in the fall. Yeah, so I spent money on that, and I don't think I needed to because I don't seem to be able to put it anywhere. Strange catch. There is a submerged sea beast to the surface. Oh, I see. It's oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm not sure I really need that, but okay. Journal. Okay, we got a lot of miscellaneous stuff going on here. Request for passage, you already knew about. Dreams of a Lady, we already knew about. The terror issue, we've got to start addressing, or at least keep it a little bit low, I guess. All right. Quality of lodgings, remove the blind helmsman. Where do you hang your hat in London? Your past, a poet. Okay. So, that's the journal. Officers, we're okay on the officer front for the moment. We need to start selling something, or we're not going to be able to afford. Okay. Trade in common goods will only earn dim profits, seek other opportunities. Well, that's fine. A firkin of prisoners' honey. This will earn you 20 echoes. Well, we certainly need more echoes, so that's being sold. Caro's naval supplies. Let's just... We've already bought this. I guess we can just leave it in our cargo hold because it's not doing us any good in those. That 10 echo is not really going to change much. We don't really want to sell the engine. The House of Vision we don't want to do anything with. We really only got that very paltry... we really need to... Okay. Consider a specialist surgeon. She is staying at a respectable boarding house near the docks and has made it known that she is available for work. She increases hearts and iron. Yeah, alright. I now have no echo, though. You have one of this, Clattery Air, an expert in amputations. You have no more recruits for the moment. Well, that's the way that goes. Your crew groans with hunger. That's a problem. We're going to have to address that. Okay, we can't solve that yet. Rose's Wharf caters to the collectors and eccentrics, anything with exotic tastes and the gumption to harass Z captains. So, escort some interested acquaintance to the Rose Market. They hope to make a satisfying trade. This will usher in a new day at the Rose Market and perhaps new buyers. I'm not going to do that yet. A little gift. A fine evening to you, Captain. Very fine evening. My, what you call, mentor is very fond of adventurous Z captains, and he would like to offer you what would be called a dispensation on account of he's so fond of Z captains. Behind the Blind Bruiser on the dock stands a dray piled high with fuel and supplies. Make sure you have 15 points of space. I'm pretty sure I do, or come back later. Who is this patron? Is there a catch? He runs a very fine and very liberal establishment just across the river. What is much patronized by sailors and men of wit and vinegar, a public house. And there is no obligation to speak of. My patron would hope only that you might remember him kindly, and I suppose the opportunity should arise for you to return to its kindness, but I do not imagine he would refuse your offer. Fine, let's do this thing. Well, my patron hopes that these gifts are to your liking, and he expects that perhaps one day you might choose to call on him at the Medusa's head. Should that day come, we will make sure you are very welcome and give you any safe conduct you require. Good evening to you. He salutes and is gone. So I have suspicion, but I have fuel and supplies, which is not a terrible thing. Hopefully that has helped my supply situation out a little bit. Your lodgings. Here you may catch up with correspondence. The rest will retire altogether. Okay. The Rose Market caters to collectors and eccentrics. Well... Okay, so clearly I have a little bit of criminal problems aboard. What do I have in terms of hold? I have discuss secrets to the officers to improve your skills. You can speak to your officers by right-clicking on their portraits. Okay, that's an interesting point. Officers. First officer, speak to. The Z Captain, look at it out there. It is our friend. Don't forget that. Tell me a tale, and I'll tell you another. The Z is full of stories. Spending a secret will improve your mirrors, but no higher than 50. What does he want? What does he seek? At C? I do talk nonsense about the Z, I know, but I like it and I like you. Alright, so let's do this. Let's increase the mirrors. The Navigator likes to talk about the Z. He has long opinions on its beauties, its dangers, its salinity, its depths, and its contents, and the rest. Every other sentence starts the Z. Z, Z, Z. After a while, you reach the point of semantic satiation, and the word Z means no more to you than the word Zop. But you appear to have learned something. You've gained 1 mirrors, in new total of 26. You've lost a secret. Okay. What does he want? The Z is enough. But now you mention it, I've always desired to see Frostfound, the place where the Z rises to become a castle. The place where questions and riddles do battle for truth. He sighs dreamily, but is watching you carefully. Yes, Frostfound. We found it at the very north of the sea, okay? Let's go back and talk to the mascot. It's made its home on a shelf in your cabin. It has built a nest from loose journal pages, the engineer's scarf, and possibly pilfered map. You can see the indentation of a portal to the rim of its cabin must be pressing its face to the windows again. It's a board? Well, alright. The Bloomington flies and squirms as you tickle it. When a high-pitched warble is almost certainly giggling. When you stop to check that you are not actually hurting it, it wraps the tendrils around your fingers and pulls your hand back. It is apparently enjoying itself. Oh, that's kind of cute. Alright. Okay, what can I do about the lodgings? Read the morning paper. The unexpurgated Gazette, the magazine formerly known as London Magazine, the spiteful trumpeter news. Okay, so let's check that out. The Echo Bazaar, that enigmatic marketplace, has increased its tax on love stories. The traitor empress has forbidden singing in the street outside her palace. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited a drinking fountain. The Ministry of Public Decency has located and destroyed a nest of gallbladder wasps. Recent news. Fragment remains unchanged at 50. You've lost a terror. Okay. What can I buy that I might be able to sell somewhere? I do actually kind of have to go to the shipyard and repair my ship. And I haven't been anywhere in London, so... what can I do that I didn't before? Put my ship in dry dock for repairs or other purposes. Visit the Rose Market. Perhaps you can find a buyer for some of the curiosities. Visit the Admiralty Survey House. They'll pay for information from captains. Okay. Let's actually take a look at this. What have the nearly dead been up to then? Okay. Visit and investigate ports to gain port reports and trade them here. The first time you trade in a port report, you gain an Admiralty's favor. Okay. So here we go. Submitted a bunch of stuff. I have a little bit of extra fuel, an extra Admiralty favor. Your visit to Vanderbilt is confirmed. I have a little bit of extra echo. That's all right. Ask if there's anything in particular they need. Speak to the air agent out there. Our agent out there in return will see you rewarded. Visit the port below and return to London. You can check the details in your journal. Retrieve strategic information from the Iron and Misery Company funging station somewhere not far from home waters. Okay. I don't have anything else. I'm gonna leave it at that. So let's go to London. Let's go to the Rose Market. We can escort some interesting acquaintances to the Rose Market. Actually, let's not do that yet because it says it advances the clock. So reduce your terror. You might run into trouble or romance. A matter of luck. Pretty good odds. We do have to repair the ship, though. Or not. My ship is in acceptable shape. I know I took damage. Yeah, I'll give this a go. You were fortunate. You gained 20 times hull, new total 38. Okay, you gained 5 terror, nervous. You've lost 5 supplies, now 0. Okay, so that's the consequence of that, and that's going to be a problem because I kind of need food. Okay. Alright, let's go carousing. Strange night out. You wake in the back room of Gaston's lamprey, head pounding. You've had something to drink, but beyond that it's a little hazy. Your knuckles are bloody. Your blood, you think. And your shirt bloody likewise. Probably not yours unless your blood is slick and greenish. You've had better nights out. A difficult brew, Gaston says gnomically. You are unlucky. Better luck next time. You've lost 3 terror. You've lost 10 echo. You now have 1 of this recent news. You've lost 1 another day, a free evening. New total 0. Great. Alright. Shipside provisioners. I cannot actually buy supplies because I have nothing. That's fantastic. Okay. Journal. Okay. Retrieve strategic information from the Iron and Misery Company. And I need to bring wine to Vanderbite. What's in my hold, actually, at the moment? I do not, in fact, have any wine. So I have to find some wine. And as it turns out, my laptop that I'm monitoring the stream on has decided to turn itself off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few seconds pause, and let's throw up the super fancy AFK please wait. And I will be back in a second. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm just going to go refill my coffee mug and go grab my power supply because I was an idiot and didn't bring it in earlier. So I shall be back. So I'm just waiting for some pizza to heat up because I've realized I've been streaming for many, many hours now. It's been an hour on this session alone. I had a half an hour or 45 minutes of Nova Drift before that. And before that, a big old pile of Outer Wilds, one of my favorite games ever, now in VR. I'm going to go back to that a little later this evening, so I'm going to have to eat food at you, properly decent amount of food, because I want to keep playing this, but I'm going to be munching on pizza besides. So, let me see here. That's reheating. So, I am going to just switch over to... Nope, that is not what I wanted to switch over to. One moment. There we go. So, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. So, I've obviously run into a situation where I don't know how to manage the money part of this yet, and I don't know how to manage the supplies part of this yet. And that is going to probably kill this crew. But I don't have a whole lot of choice. What I'm going to do, because I don't know how to buy and sell stuff more efficiently, and I probably shouldn't have taken risky moves, knowing that I could lose resources fast. I don't think I gained enough to actually rebuy supplies, but maybe. I'm just going to have to head out and see if I can complete some quests fast enough to bootstrap this process. Otherwise, this may be a really, really short trip, minute 15, before that's heated. Okay. I don't know what else to do. Let's close this off, and let's open up the map. So we, what do we have here? We don't know where else to go, so let's head out. And see if we can find something before we die. Because we are getting super, super hungry. Might just have to... I don't think we can get out this way. Okay, let's see. That's ominous. Rebellious murmurs. Plates are empty, cups are dry, your crew's loyalty is less certain by the day. Promise that if they trust you a little longer, they'd seem their homes again soon. Promise them that if they cross you, they'll never see their homes again. No cheers, no renewed enthusiasm, time is running out. Well, too bad. I don't really have a choice, so... So, dissect it for knowledge, butcher it for supplies. Totally butchering it. You've lost 50 hungry, new total 40 fed. The crew will feast. Okay. Let's go and do that again, because we kind of really seriously... Totally butcher it for supplies. So hopefully that's given us some extra supplies to work with, because... Right? I don't think those are enemies. I don't seem to be able to attack them. But you know what? That's actually probably a good thing. And I'm going to run out of fuel. Oh, that's engine temperature. That's okay. Oh, hello. I have no idea if I'm supposed to be attacking this guy or not from the point of view of... They're already groaning with hunger again. That's going to continue to be a major pain in the neck. Well, this is either going to be sink or swim time. We're either capable of taking this guy out. And be able to get some decent supplies from them. Or we're going to die trying, because I think I might have screwed up the start to this game, but that's alright. Might just be able to do this. Missing Sailor. A roll call is one face too few and you don't like the uneasy hush that stands. Your crew are on the brink of starvation as one committed to the primal crime of cannibalism. There is a spirit or god underneath whose name is not spoken. He is worshipped with candles and with a frenzied consumption of flesh. Has someone here turned to that worship? Let's check it out. No sign. Your search up ends empty. Casts a sea chest, alarms the mascot, and enrages the innocent cook. The crew know what you seek, but none will name it. The fog of fear thickens. Mirrors 30 failed in the challenge. Try again, you may have better luck. You've lost a crew. New total 9. You gained 10 terror. Wow, cannibalism on board my ship. That's fantastic. Several things about that are not good all at the same time. Starvation walks the ship. Day by day, your crew grows weaker. Each ship of fresh water is carefully rationed. Sailors squabble over scraps of leather. Each morning, bodies are found stiff and cold. Oh no, I'm definitely not doing that. So I've lost 2 crew, new total of 7. I've lost 20 hunger. You gained 1 terror, total of 42 nervous. Yikes. Okay. Defeated an Alcaeus-class vessel. Crippled, broken, already feeding on the Z's endless hunger. Little remains of the ship, but scraps of sinking cargo and a few buoyant parts of a splintered carcass. Investigate the wreckage, please. Captain Quick, over here, port side. Rescue the pirate poet. Throw a rope, claim a bounty. Salvage the cargo instead. The Z may show mercy. You will not. Alright, it takes 3 crewmen to pull the pirate poet from the Z's clutches, while others mutter about bringing an unfinished man, an unfinished woman, aboard ship. She just smirks. She cares little on her, but the verses of poetry tattooed on her every visible inch, and an old sword almost as chipped as she is. Fortunately, her salvaged possessions also include the jangling money purse on her belt, fat and ready to pay the traditional freedom price of her current bounty. As much as the crew could subdue her, all are relieved when she is aboard a lifeboat rowing away through the darkness towards Galder's Morn. An occurrence. Your encounters with the pirate poet. Quality is now you have defeated the pirate poet. You now have 400 times echo. Okay, we are booking it for... Can we make it to London from here? Because that would be fantastic. Let's give it a go, but before I do that, I'm quickly going to grab my pizza. I'm not even going to turn off the stream. Here, rummaging about in the distance, because my microphone apparently screaming from the extremely hot plate. Ow. The screaming I'm get right now is here to clatter dishes, which is more likely to be swearing than. Right. Let's figure out how to do this. Let's do that. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right. So, my quest is only up to about 60% charge, so I'm not going to be switching back over to that immediately, maybe later in the evening. All right. I actually kind of hope I find another critter en route, because that would help me stave off the hunger long enough to get into port and get some real food. I will totally consider Mutton Island. Alright. Seaman Mac Kazan hanged herself, Captain. She's been laid down below. I mean, the funeral. Urbosa's face is furtive. Arrange for the funeral. Yeah, I'm not doing the extremely dark thing they're suggesting. Thank you. Starvation walks the ship. Yeah, I have lost a crew. New total is 5. I get that, but I'm still... not going to go down the dark, sinister path they're suggesting. Go, 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 go. All right. I have to get smarter about a combination of both my supplies and doing quests. I need a major buffer zone in capital. Okay. Pay the customs duty because I know it's no big deal. Collect messages from the harbor master. Somebody wants to sign on. The blind bruiser attends to business on the dock. That's all for now. You have one of this, another day free evening. Another day the bone market hasn't changed because it's higher than 0. Okay. Let's... Oh, good evening, Captain. What a marvelous evening is this, if you don't mind my saying so, and is given to my impression that you are the obliging sort. I'm sure you will not mind at all. And since you are very obliging, perhaps you wouldn't mind making a little detour via Mount Palmerston with a few articles of cargo if you happen to be in the area. The cheery man will, of course, cover your expenses for this trifling inconvenience. What the heck? Let's do it, because I don't know any different. At least in the cargo space. If you'd be so kind to deliver this little gift to our friends at Mount Palmerston, then they will see we get to hear about it. And when you come back, we'll cover your expenses. Bon voyage, as my aunt, who was French on my birth, and not my inclination, used to like to say. Mount Palmerston, generally somewhere northeast of London. Okay, well, we can do that. Okay. The merchant venture, an urchin tugs your sleeve. Governor wants a word. A brooding figure waits at lamplight edge. I've need of a reliable agent, failing that, an inventive one. Here are my requirements. He has very specific needs, but he'll pay much better market rates, and he won't ask you how you came by these things. An occurrence, your objective, ventures qualities now one, a dream and a scheme. A request, speak to him further and check your journal. If he's made two requests, you can fulfill either one. Okay. But both of these are locked. Oh, you can find it in Irem. You can find it in Irem or Dreams. I don't know which is easier to find. Something forlorn. 700 echoes for 7 bales. Murder enough monsters, or you can purchase it in the Chelonit. So something durable. They're flooded with dead monsters. I'm not. 500 echoes. I don't have whatever it is I need to trigger those yet, so. You know what, though? I have 4 fuel. I'm going to buy a bunch of fuel, and we're going to buy a whole pile of supplies. So we are not wanting for either of those things at this point. So I can buy and sell the... I wonder if the cask of mushroom wine is now only 21. It really won't... I wouldn't have made a profit on the fact that I sold it for 20 and bought it for 21, but maybe if I can bring wine up to that other city. Crates of human souls, bolts of spider silk, that's delightful. Alright. So we need to... Adventurer's Desires. Okay, so yeah, hang on, I already know that one. So... Don't really need to worry about the tattoo just yet. Your lodgings, that's fine. So that's in the whole journal. Bring wine to Venderbite. But it's not clear how much wine I have to bring. 7 bales of parable linen or 7 pieces of Stygian ivory. Well, I'm just going to have to kill some critters to deal with that. I do not have the ship for this sort of thing either. Alright. I do have a fair bit of cargo space, though. Alright. Let's visit London. See if there's any information I can give. I have not acquired any useful information. Okay. Rose's Wharf. Escort some interested in acquaintances from black market. New day at the black market, perhaps new buyers. Not too worried about that. Hire on more crew. You need to buy drinks, spread around hiring fees, look for daredevils. It's a modest challenge, but let's give this a go. You succeeded in a hearts challenge. I've lost 30 echo. I've lost 1 terror. You've gained 2 crew. Okay. University has an insatiable appetite for secrets, Z specimens, and other tidbits of esoteric lore. All right, let's go and check a look. So, they're quite impressed. Oh yes, the university's maritime liaison whispers breathily. Oh yes, this is quite a tasty one. Let me explain it to you. He explains, teeth glinting. You've lost a secret. A twist in your tail. You are now a favors antiquarian. You've gained pages. Okay. The alarming scholar is mercurial to say the least. A creature of sudden moods and provoking teeth. Possibly her appointment as University Maritime Liaison was precautionary to keep his razor-sharp enthusiasm from causing too many injuries in the facility. Ah yes, the scholar whispers breathily. I have a budget for acquisitions. What have you brought me? If you have any knowledge items the scholar will buy, they appear below. A strange catch. I'm okay with that. I don't necessarily want to... Actually, hang on. The strange catch I could use to summon critters, which means I could fight them. Is that worth it? I'm going to hold off. Because I do have that as a skill, if you will. Retrieve strategic importance from the Iron and Misery Company's funging station. Somewhere not far from home waters. Iron and Misery funging station. Okay. Bring wine to Vanderbite. And then a bunch of stuff for the Venture's Desire. And then a request for passage. You welcome to passenger aboard someone. But you see, this request for passage. Is this miscellaneous stuff I've already done? Yes, this is... Okay, so this is stuff I've already technically done, so I don't need to solve this. Alright. Let's go to the story. So... I can rest in a room above the blind helmsman. Will reduce your terror, heal a wound, and give you a restful night. That is probably worth doing. Let's do that. You've lost 10 echo. You've lost a terror. You now have 1 more restful night. But I don't know how to... It's interesting. I don't know how to cure terror on a larger scale. Curiouser and curiouser. Don't let your terror reach 100. Well, I don't know how to keep it from reaching 100 because the ways of curing terror seem to be low effectiveness. But let's go to the officers because we want to assign you as a surgeon. We speak to you. Best way to extract a secret is to offer one in turn. Not going to do the romancing thing yet. Need to let this settle down and figure out what else I'm doing. All right, let's now we are looking for the Iron and Misery Company's funging station, and then delivering wine north. Did I actually pick up wine? Great. Probably didn't, did I? No, I did not. Oh well, that's fine. Perhaps wherever I end up, they'll have wine. I've been rocking the distance. Shepherd's Wash, the salty hinterland of London, home to hermits, nuns, and shadowy business. Okay. I'm not actually entirely sure what I'm looking for. Well, that does look like a potential target. All right. Shepherd's Wash, the salty hinterland of London, home to hermits, nuns, and shadowy business. Okay. Checking out the journal. So I'm still not sure where to go. Heyo, fellow Deed. Welcome to the channel. I apologize for munching pizza at you. It will be over shortly. A curious game. Oh, hello. Shipwrecked. Your ship founders. There are screams, a flood of dark water, the unforgettable sound of a ship's spine breaking. Slip beneath the waves. Perhaps it'll be remembered in song. Well, your memoirs, quality of lodgings, quality is gone. Your first captain has died. Don't worry. These things happen. Explore boldly with your next captain. Choose a legacy, something to preserve for your next captain. Charming. Dreadfully, dreadfully charming. In Memoriam, Cassie. I did not accomplish very much. The legacy. Okay. Your next character inherits your lodgings, along with any heirlooms. I didn't have lodgings. Okay. Like, I don't think I have anything that I can, strictly speaking, claim. A Dream of Red. Increases your starting hearts. Great. The Warrant of Redemption. You are Cassie's shipmate. Let's go with that. Why not? Starting chart. None requires a correspondent legacy. Inherited weapon. None requires a rival legacy. Inherited officer. Really? That's not really the officer I would have chosen. Correspondent. Retain 50% of their pages value in the chart. Salvager. Retain 50% of their veils value. I'm going to go with correspondent instead, actually. Let's do that. Sure, why not? Wow, so this has very much Darkest Dungeon vibes to it. What with the sort of the sense of you can start again at any point, and you probably carry over some stuff that you've accomplished, but a lot of your guys die a lot. It's a little bit like that. All your captains die a lot. Alright. Let's give this one more go now that we kind of know what we're doing. So I did a poet last time. I would normally just sort of spark that up again so I could try to master it and figure out how I can make that better. But let's just go with a natural philosopher for the next one. Dan, did you just die to a jellyfish? Yes, I did, because I suck at the game, because I have never played this before. I have no idea what I'm doing. Plus, I probably had a fairly damaged ship. I make no claims as to knowing what I'm doing. That's okay. Part of the experience. Alright. Right, you're natural philosopher, now you're a Z captain. So, what does winning mean to you? I'm going to go with Father's Bones. Your father was lost at sea, you never knew him, but you often dreamed of him. Find and return his remains to London. Alright. Full Fathom 5. Find where he fell and bring him home. When you found your father's bones, you can retire to victory. Explore and fall in London to find your first clue. An occurrent, subjective, ambition quality is now find your father's bones. So, alright. 50 echoes extra. You know what? Don't worry about it. I'm sure there's lots of interesting secrets in this game on how to maximize your potential. I'm just learning this, so I'm happy to I'm happy to fail valiantly until I either get too frustrated with it or succeed. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. So this will determine what kind of people call you captain, but your captain gender is up to you. That's fine. I'm gonna go with sir. Why not? I did captain last time, so let's give this a chance. Last piece of advice: explore, take chances. A captain will probably die. Yes, I already know this. An occurrence: your address quality is now sir. Who are you? All right. Captain Silt. Because why not? All right. Your father is lost at Z so very long ago. The trail was cold, but now you have a lead. The Gracious Widow. It is said that she controls half the crime in London. It is said that she is 500 years old. It is said that she can distill spirits that delight the tongue and melt the flesh. It is said that she has paid for a memorial headstone to be set up for your father. What does she know? What does she know? All right. The night under the earth. The widow receives you in utter darkness, blank as the bandage laid across your eyes. This is usual for the widow. Yes, she says, and her voice is oddly youthful. I have an interest in your father. I had hoped news of the headstone would bring someone looking, and here you are. I have an idea where his bones might be. Perhaps you will help me recover them, but I would like you to recover my expenses. First. Okay, I need something for my tonics. Scintillac. You can find it in Port Cecil, I understand. You may go. Bring a unit of Scintillac from Port Cecil for the widow. Port Cecil can be found in the center of the Untersee near the Khanate. Bring Scintillac from Port Cecil or elsewhere to the Gracious Widow. Alright. Should be exciting and messy. So what's the Labyrinth of Tigers? Labyrinth of Tigers is open under the patronage of the London Zoological Society to cautious visitors for educational purposes. Here you may see the Devil Apes of Farmandelay, the Thing in the Mirror, the Castigator's Children, the Gargantuan Cave Snake, the Inhabitor of Wolves, the Hybrid Fiend. The management recommends that you you arrange your exit well before closing time. All right. I don't have the ability to deal with that right now. I'm going to go into the advice for captains because I want to check out the section on... I do know I can sell the book, so there is that. But on terror. Terror increases gradually over time when you're out at Z away from land. Watch the skull. When you see orange or red pips, terror will ramp up. Okay, I knew that bit. How do I reduce it? Use shore leave in London or in other ports, but London is most cost-effective to reduce it. Lots and lots of other stories increase or reduce terror. Okay. I mean, that's all I knew before. So that doesn't really help me any. Yeah, alright. Go. You gain 50 echo. So there's my extra echo. So you no longer have any of this advice for captains. That's fine. So, I have a mascot and I have a surgeon. Alright, I gotta get more. I'm gonna start out with quests that can keep the money rolling in, because I don't know, I keep not having the money I need to do my things. So, a passenger. Agree to carry the Gnomic Gallivant to the Cumaean Canal, or the Iron and Misery Funging Station, or both. History is a horse. Who will prick it with their spurs? He cries out, no one in particular. A drop of blood, maybe precious as a ruby. Well, we're totally taking him on because that will get us money while actually going and exploring things, which is something I need to do anyway. So, welcome to board. He puffs out his chest. Ruby stands gleam in the lamplight. I knew London had enterprising souls still left in it. I'm seeking truth, sir. Which, I'm told, I may found at the Iron and Misery Funging Station. I failed to find that last time, so it'd be good to know where it is. Although I guess that things move around between captains. But for Port Cecil, there will be a contest, and we'll change the world with a game of chess. A king will fall. So, bound for both the Command Canal and the Iron and Misery Co. funding station. Let's do that. Okay. So Iron and Misery Company. This is all great. But I'm not going to buy anything until I have a little bit more capital under my belt because I don't know what it is that I might need. So, oh, come on, go ahead. Let's do the thing. I kept the charts. So that was the legacy that I had. So actually, I still don't know where some of these things are. That's slightly annoying. So miscellaneous. A request for passage. Someone in London's requires your services. You're welcome to passage aboard. That's fine. Bound for both the Command Canal and the Iron and Misery co-funding station. Problem is, what I really need to do... really need a way to find out where these things are, and there doesn't appear to be a sort of a quest target, and that's fine. I don't mind when games do that. I guess it's time for me to actually be a little bit more industrious about looking around carefully. So we're just going to sail right up the coast here. You're only an extra turn of speed. Clicking the full power icon will add an extra barrel of fuel to the engine. Battle E. Oh, I see. Davies Bay. Destroyed a pirate steam pinnace. The ship is yours. What will you do with her? Loot and scuttle her. Yes, please. You finish opening a cache of curiosities. Crates. The source of sustenance, the fundamental element of cargo. Okay. A crate of fuel. Coke, like coal, but more so the Department of Infernal Rarifications would have it. I've gained 2 fuel. Sure. And we'll turn the light back on and... carry on my merry way. Okay, so now I've got the tactic of sneaking up on ships. That's a thing I can do. I have 9 fuel. My hunger is not serious. My freakiness is not serious. So we have a false star flares in the cavern roof directly above you, flares and fades. All right. I have no idea where I'm actually going at this point. I'm just sort of exploring. Suffered a bit of damage. Just barely outrunning these things. Secret. Speak to your officers to improve your abilities. I will do that. I have reached Andegard Harbor, and I think I will dock and gather information about this before I move on. So, all right. Behold the great arch over the bay. The pale waves stretch, white and silent as the face of the moon. All right. So exploring the town, it's a chilly town of gray stone and closed courtyards. They're neither exactly unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. The irritating habit of answering a question with a question. Here and there are odd sites talked away. We can gather intelligence, which I will also be doing. We can also get shore leave, but we're not going to be doing that yet because we're not particularly freaked out. So we're going to explore the town. A contest of riddles. Fisher folk sailors and a shady couple of likely pirates. And is that a brownie down by the water's edge? They sit round a fire at Z's edge, passing around a bottle of something viscously black. They're wagering on riddles. Will you join them? We can bet an echo on one of the simpler riddles. One of the fishermen is bursting to try it. A whale's eye. The fisherman chuckles and pounds the ground with a fist. City folk, he crows. City folk, pay up. Pages 27, failed a challenge. Try again, you may have better luck. That's all for now. You lost an echo, but you gained 5 fragment. That's fine. I'm okay with that trade-off for now. We only lost 1 echo. And we just got to see what that was. So it's a little bit of a gambling thing based on my skill, which I don't have a lot of right now. So, shore leave, no, but I do want to gather intelligence. So this isn't whether enjoy questions so much that they always answer a question with another question. This can make intelligence gathering frustrating. Are you asking for any particular reason? What time of day? Is that your hat? Might it be 6? It could be 6. Eventually you cobble together enough implication and opposition to compose a report. You now have one of this, a port, report, wither. I am going to just move on, I think. The journal officers, let's at least speak to the surgeon. Hello, my dear sir. Sit down carefully. Just let me tidy away these components. We don't want any carelessness, do we? Increase your pages. Oh ho ho. We like to talk about secrets. Would we? Secrets are my very favorite. Spend a secret will improve your pages, but no higher than 50. Ask about his desires and ambitions. Well, let's go ahead and approve my pages. I'm okay with that. He likes to sit very close when he speaks, the plausible surgeon. He speaks familiarly of diseases and hauntings, as if he knew their first names, but chose not to disclose them out of courtesy and discretion. This makes some of his advice confusing, but you do learn intriguing details. I've lost a secret, but I've gained new pages. All right. Ask after his desire and ambitions. The Kellenate. You know it? They collect corpses. He shifts in his seat. Vast, noble, complicated corpses. What I could learn, what I could see. My dearest captain, if we ever find ourselves in the Kellenate, I do hope you might see fit to release me from our arrangement. Kellenate can be found somewhere in the far east of the Untersee. Alright. Well, sure, I could... why not, right? Could be useful. Let's just carry on. What am I going to do here, actually? I'm going to try to get to the north end of this thing and then come back down and visit a few places along the way. Hopefully that'll give me enough sort of... I'm going to visit a few places and hopefully that'll give me enough stuff for money. Because I haven't found the places that some of these guys want me to go yet. As frustrating as that is. And I think I've reached the north. So we're going to curl back around. Ow. It's a little bit tight. I do have a sea monster coming up ahead, though. That was not elegant in any sense. Okay, so let's... A Lifeberg? That's just weird, sir. Oh my god, I lost 2 crew. Suffered 30 damage and I lost 2 crew. That's brutal. I can't take this thing on. Maybe I could if I could. That is going to take a lot of effort. A white Z-Bat. A sailor has grown fretful and disobedient, reluctant to go on deck unit port. There's a white Z-Bat watching me up there. Salt's messenger. Salt's got its eye on me. Or Silt's. Salt? Salt. Sailor superstition. Order him up on deck at once. One of the nameless gods that sailors fear. The sailor is a conscientious man. Send him to sickbay on the pretext of a fever. If white Z-Bats are sacred to Salt, perhaps you'll gain Salt's favor if you believe any of that. Sure, why not? The Z-Bat takes fungal crackers from your fingers as boldly as a parrot. It dips its head to you and chirks something to you might mistake for speech. It spreads its wings and leaps into the air. The next day, your crewman is gone, along with one of the ship's boats. No one saw him depart knows why. Great. We now have the god of the Z's, Salt's attention. You know something about the 3 gods of the Z. You've lost a crew, and you gained 5 fragments. Okay, that's bad. Shipwreck! Your ship founders, their screams, a flood of dark water, the unforgettable sounds of ship spines breaking. Okay, so I died again. Surprise! Lifeberg got... Yeah, no kidding. Holy crap. Alright, well. This is what I signed up for, so to speak. Your memoirs, quality of lodging, lodger's quality. Yeah, okay. Choose a legacy to preserve something. That's fine. I'm going to preserve the correspondence because I want Silt's chart. None of the rest of it really matters to me. I just want to know more about where I am. So. Wow. That was rough. Alright, we're going with Street Urchin this time. I mean, eventually I'm just going to pick one and stick with it until I can, like, learn it. But this is exploratory phase of the game where I sort of get a feel for what's going on. So that guy was tough. I just don't have the ship to take on something like that. I should have known when it started losing crew and damaging me for 30 hit points at shot. That was a kind of a mistake. But, you know, you explore, you live, whatever. So I have a Longshanks Gunner. That's cool. More Veils, Echo, Stranger Quality is gone, you're a Street Urchin. Alright, somebody's looking for passage. Alright, so let's just get on with this. We're going to go with... I'm still not after the wealth thing, it's not really my thing, so I'm going to go with Father's Bones again. Last scrap of paperwork. Right. I forgot to choose the background. Oh, well, you know what? That's okay. Shadow Stranger, that's fine. An occurrence, your dress quality is now madam. Who are you? Okay. Oh, yeah, this is where I get to do this. I'm going to go with... Sure, why not? Isis, because I'm feeling salty myself. So we're going to go with an Egyptian god's name, just because it amuses me. So, your father's bow and a cold trail. So we've already done this. I'm going to skip past this. I've read it. So, I met with Sylvie, the speaker urchin speaks to it. All right, troubled tongue. Sylvie's face is disfigured by a wine-stained birthmark, and he struggles with a stutter. Mark of the lightning's kiss. One night when he got too bold in a storm, they say. Yes, I've been waiting for you. I just wants me a little mutter salt. Something to calm me tongue. Bring it me, and I'll tell you as your father. So, go north of the coast of Whistler and bring back. So, I'm explicitly not going to do that, because that killed me last time. I may go back up there to places I can safely get to gather intel, but that's it. So, yeah, more Z stories. Okay, so... Lifeberg was nasty. Seriously nasty. Well, now I know, right? So we're going to sell the book because I don't think it's really telling me anything all that useful. Although I could be wrong. That does have a stink of arrogance about it. Lodgings. Passenger. Let's go to the passenger. University student to get to Hunter. Anxious university student to get to Hunter's Keep. Now, I know where Hunter's Keep is, so this is something I can actually do. Bound for Hunter's Keep. Welcome. So that's great. Your lodgings. You may catch up with your correspondence. I don't want to do that. Hold journal officers. Let's talk to the gunnery officer. What do you want from life? It's like the flitted Z, right? No one tells you what to say or do, and no one to kick you downstairs just because you got a little bit tall. I'll be a faithful officer. Put me down ashore in the shadow, and I won't forget you. At the shadow. Khan's shadow is east of the Khanate proper in the east central Untersee. And that's kind of the direction I'm heading anyway, so maybe I'll just bring her along with me and drop her off. That's fine. Proposition from the Longshanks Gunner. Okay, so that's fine. Let's just get on with this. That's fine. We're going to launch. And basically, I'm bound for... I know I saw Hunter's something or other on here somewhere. Maybe I didn't. Oh, Hunter's Keep. There it is. Duh. It's literally north of me. So that's something I can actually finish. So let's do that. Let's do that and then head east to try to find more places I can stop off and gather intel at, because that'll help me. And when I return to London, I'm quickly going to check my quest to see if I've got enough of a charge on it to continue into the night doing more of my favorite game, Outer Wilds. Because that's what I was doing earlier today when I ran out of power. I'm also going to have to invest in like 1 million rechargeable... Well, A million. I have to invest in a million rechargeable set of rechargeable batteries for. What am I doing? What am I doing? Come on. Pay attention. There's a test afterward. How do I get in here? I guess I come into that from the north. Saying HQ will blow your horn. This is no useful instruction and may provoke nearby ZBs or hostile vessels. That's hilarious. I could do it to summon beasts that I actually want to attack, though. And when I get a little bit more gunnery skill, that may be a thing. So, here we go. Hunter's Keep, a lump of dark rock. Okay. In Mist, like hundreds of others under the island. So, you stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's sides, and an unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. I like lavender, that's nice. I can probably sleep well here. Inspect the lorn fluke with the anxious university student. It lies on the shore just beyond a hill. You can make out the fluke's spikes over the grass. Let's do that. The anxious student rushes by you, whooping, but he stops on the hilltop. On the shore, standing before the mass of dead needles, is a drowny in a Nuncian postal uniform. He glowers up at you. This is not where the fluke belongs, the drowning cries in a plummy voice. It's to be taken elsewhere. It already has a delivery label. That means I have to deliver it. The student sneers. Sod your label. Madam, help me haul the beast to station 111. My advisor at the college has arranged room for its dissection and study. My work will benefit us all. Who will the clerks go to? All right. There's only one fluke. They can't both have it. Transport the fluke to station 111. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Or transport the lorn fluke to Nuncio. It's labeled already. That's what I got hired for. So, the lorn fluke is tied by very reluctant sailors to drag behind your stern. On your deck, the anxious student twitches with delight. I can't believe what we have. His hand tightens on the railing. The drowning postman stares up at you both. It's natural for corpses to grimace, but when a corpse is still alive and is actively upset at you, that's additionally distressing. I guess so. Bound for station 113, except I don't know where that is. Okay. Present yourself at the house. They'll have heard the ship come in. Why hide? All right. A maid with smoldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlor where three young women wait. A visitor, the youngest cries. The next youngest chuckles. The eldest sighs. Do excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. The noisy one is Phoebe. And the cheerful one is Lucy. You are in good time for lunch. Will you join us? You're acquainted with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light. I guess I have become acquainted with them. All right. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment and then fades. A lump of dark rock swathed in mist. Oh, I already read this. So, blah, 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 blah. So, here we go. We've got luncheon with sisters. Phoebe, soft-voiced, watchful, and unpredictable. Lucy, the middle sister, is sunny, restless, prone to giggles. And Cynthia is the eldest, melancholy, pensive, occasionally dramatic. I'm going to go with Phoebe. At least, yes, I think I'm going to go with Phoebe. Yeah, let's do that. So, here's a story. Phoebe has a story to tell. Of two lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if only a song she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room, or to the false stars glittering in the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The Untersee shimmers below, islands like the mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depths. There's a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, said Phoebe quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there you finished the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. So that's all for now. I now have a memory of distant shores. At the university and in the tomb colonies, they'll pay well for stories. Okay. You are acquainted with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. You have gained 1 supply. You have gained 32. You have lost 32 hunger, and you now have the God of Z's Storm's attention. Oh, well, that's great. I'm not sure I want that, but Here we are. Reconnoiter the island, plunging cliffs, soft green lawns, a well tucked away in the fold of the grounds, anything else. Let's take a look. The sea's silence. Ships rarely come here, nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle, the house and the sisters, but the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed at least. Alright. But where are the sisters? No lunch today, apparently. Alright, well, that's fine. So, that's a thing. Let's go to the journal and see what our objective is. Our objective, find your father. No, that's our primary objective. Gods of the Z, we now have their attention. Father's bones. The Fate of Needles. Bound for Station 3 with the anxious university student. We still don't know where Station 3 is, but that's alright. Okay. Alright then. An acquaintance. We are acquainted with the sisters. That's fine. Onward. We can't actually get supplies here. So maybe what we should do is aim for, I don't know, Flitterstone Isle and then maybe Field Haven. Somewhere in there we might be able to find fuel. $737. Not sure if there's anywhere I can actually disembark here. Uh-oh, jelly floor. Alright. So I can't do this without dying this time. It is starting to pick me off with little bits of damage. Okay, so perhaps you can eat it and perhaps yet your sailors can. So let's get the strange catch and find out what that's all about. Problem is I couldn't find a way to get on that aisle, so oops, let's turn the lights on because I really don't want the terror, thank you very much. So I don't know if I can actually land there. I guess not. So let's go to the other side of Field Haven. Because I did notice a place to dock over there. All right. Of course, the Bearded Watchman tells you there are no actual shepherds on the Shepherd Isles. All right. Sheep are mostly illegal here. No, indeed, it's just the name of the gentleman that founded the islands. Greybeards sitting in the village, square nods solemnly. No sheep, but plenty of tails. Ask us anything. A picnic at the Standing Stones. The bearded villagers will sell you mutton stew and kefir and stone bottles of cold fresh spring water. Good heavens. And row you over to the stones. Your sailors watch the firefly shimmer, swap shanties, pass around the grog, and shy stones at the more vampirically inclined Zebats. Grasses nod in the breeze. Across the dark water, the lights of Abbey Rock glow watchfully. Your bosun hands you something. Found a rock, he reports ironically. Pretty sure it's dead. You've lost 3 terror. You've lost 5 echo. That's fine. You now have an ambiguous aolith, and that's all for now. All right. Compile a port report. Oh my, yes. There's some things going on. The bleak light of the false stars. Surface rolling like a porridge pot. Up with a roar of steam and flash of fire. 3 widows swimming tentacles. And then we saw His Highness. Or is there rather a lot of this material? You now have a port report, Shepherd Isles. Okay. Engage an officer, the sigil-ridden navigator. Let me guide your ship. I know all the Z, how it was, how it will be. Please, the headaches only stop when I'm working. The navigator is a first officer who increases mirror and veils. Okay. Why not? I guess I did have to pay him, but whatever. Thank you. The nonsense here was a distraction for a while, but only the Z can help me now. Oh my god, the air. It's clear already. Let me chart a course for you. My head. Appoint your new officer by dragging him from the officer's tab to a slot at the top of the screen. Do this in port, not at sea, or you may unsettle your crew. I can wait until I'm at port. That's fine. Oh, I guess I kind of am in port. Okay. All right, new officer. I'm keen on that. Okay. I'm not going to go to Abbey Rock. I am going to sail towards Purewall Point and see what I can find further out that direction. Okay, sailing past Purewall Points and past Moody's Light. Let's find out what's further over this direction. Sailing past this buoy. Alright, Demo Island might be worth visiting. Oh, and I got a bad critter coming in from the north that I really don't want to fight because the last time I fought something that big, it ate me alive. But this is good, actually. Oh, here's the Iron and Misery co-funging station. I was so close last time I set out to try find it. It was right here. All right, so this is good. I am good with this. Let's just dock here. So the funging station. INM has a funger operation here. Or a fungi, I guess. Selling giant bolgus shrooms for building materials, harvesting curly for its medicinal properties. Right, okay, so it's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable factor. Oh, hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. We'd go quite mad out here otherwise. Haha, quite mad. How can we be of assistance? Well, tea with the factor, obviously. You sit on the veranda of the factor's house, looking out over the fungal jungle. An expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The scones are stale. Even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. He shares odd stories about the ice and roses of Irem, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies, and the little restaurant in Venderbite, where he enjoyed the most extraordinary seafood. Venderbite, I know. I'd never met a tomb colonist who could cook, but you must visit the place. Do you know it? He also had a load of Bulgus frond carted aboard your ship. He waves it away with He waves away your thanks. I've eaten so much of this stuff, I feel like I'd be transformed entirely into fungus. He leans confidentially towards you. It happens, you know, but one does have to eat rather a lot of it first. You've lost terror. Great. That's all for now. You gained a 9 fragment. You gained a supplies. And I am starting to run a little low on supplies. I may have to look into that because that's what got me last time. And told an exceptionally fine restaurant in Vanderbilt, which I will now have to go back and check out at some point. Nice. What else do we have in Iron and Misery? Gather supplies. Oh, hello. Some of the island's fungus is good to eat. Some is poisonous, hallucinogenic, and mischievous. Good luck. I was fortunate and I got more supplies. And I also gained more terror. Alright, so that's always a thing. A matter of luck, it could go either way. So I got to remember that there's occasionally badness. So that actually was a good option that still gave me terror. But I'm low on the terror, so I guess that's okay. Okay, that was actually worthwhile. Let's do that again sometime. What else do we have here? We have the... Actually sail around these phosgene bleaks a little bit. How are we doing for time? We're doing okay. I'm going to start looking at cleaning up this by about 8 so I can go on to back over to Outer Wilds, but I also don't want to stop this, actually. It's got my attention. I kind of like this game. It's a little bit slow on the uptick here. I think that's probably normal, and that doesn't actually bother me. If I didn't have something else I was sort of intending to do, I'd just happily sit back and shoot the breeze with all of you. Babble out into the ether, as it were. Alright, time to turn north. There's a sort of a beacon or a lighthouse or something up here. Oh, and a lighthouse to the east. So that's a good thing. What do we have here? What have we spotted? Not as such a bad guy, so we're not going to mess with him, because that just seems a little rude. I'm not into becoming an abject pirate just yet. Skylar's End. That's a nice name. You know what? I keep forgetting to send out my Z-Bat, so there you go. Z-Bat, go out and see if you can find something. Nuncio is some distance to the east. Oh, so I could actually have gone to Nuncio. That's one of the targets for... Alright, so that's interesting. I don't actually want to go to Nuncio, though. I am down to 2 fuel, and that's a little bit problematic. Maybe I should stop off in Nuncio and see if I can purchase fuel. Don't actually know all the places that I could purchase fuel at. McMaster's Haven. Let's check that out. So I'm now down to 1 fuel, and that's actually problematic. Okay on food, somewhat crappy on fuel. Alright. Taciturn functionaries walk the docks in uniforms of postmen. Alright. Let's check this out then. Go to the Postman's Tavern. The Inky Blotter it's called. The sign doesn't look like much. Okay. An enormous crowned statue casts a chilling shadow. The shadows gleam with rat's eyes. Their ceaseless chittering roll like the tide. Alright, here we go. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised of a new arrival on the island. Okay. Listen in on the postal tales. Fishermen brag about the fish that got away. Postmen brag about hard deliveries. Amazing what you get for a penny stamp. Delicate bottles lowered down chimneys on rope. Do not Do not fold under any circumstance, the letters curled through narrow slot. Rattling, groaning crates brought back to the same address every day for 22 days running. The windows they pried open, the servants they bribed, the delivery surcharges they paid out of their own salaries just to get rid of one more packet. It's hard to tell what they hate more, the senders of the mail or the recipients. Stands to reason if the message is a welcome one, they'd tell the other fellow in person, reflects the hairless postwoman. You now have one, a newcomer and nuncio cultivating friendships with postmen. All right, that's cool. I can actually potentially go back there, I guess. Ask why the local currency consists of rats. 2 strings of rats for a pint of ale. 3 strings for wine. 5 for the tolerable brandy at the bar. Let's find out why. Scarcity is not an issue. The hairless postwoman at the end of the bar smiles miserably, or maybe it's just the lack of eyebrows that does it. Long enough carrying the things around, you get into the habit, she says. Then she tells you that if you stay out late enough, you'll see some of the postmen making a procession to the center of the island, stringing up rats around the statue like Yuletide decorations, in prayer for an ancient deity of this place. From the coughing and choking elsewhere in the pub, you'd guess this is a story they often tell to newcomers. You've gained 1 nuncio cultivating friendships with postmen. A new total, too. All right. Ask why the hairless postwoman is hairless. Is it a legacy of some interesting explosive package? No, she says. Curt, but not pleased that you asked. Still had eyebrows when I came to Nuncio. The postman at the next bench diverts you, speaks in a low voice. Lots of people find habits when they can't deliver the post anymore. Well, this one has a plucking habit. Best learn not to notice. You glance up. The hairless postwoman is still glaring at you. You've lost 1 Nuncio culturing friendships with postman. Well, whatever. Okay. Did not know that. Ask about that big statue in the middle of the island. All right. The monumental postman. Oh, that. It's all of us, isn't it? Sort of the spirit of the island. Most of them don't seem troubled for more of an explanation than that, though the hairless postman tells you that it didn't always look like a fallen London postman at all. He used to have a different face and more old-fashioned outfit. And you gained more credibility with them. That's nice. Ask how they all occupy themselves. I'm probably going to lose on this, but whatever. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Big building, center town, hard to miss. You can work there too if you want. It's not clear whether this is a generous offer or threat. Your nuncio worker in Dead Letters quality is now 1 invited to serve. You've gained 1 nuncio cultivating friendships. A newcomer. Nice. Okay. That's good enough for now. Is there anything else in Nuncio? Explore along the beach. I could try a shift at the Dead Letter office. The sign of a cancel stamp over the door. That is likely to kill me. Let's do it. All right. Blunt Thomas takes you around the office, a small collection room where retrieving letters may state their business. Those retrieving letters may state their business. A much larger set of back offices where newly arrived letters and parcels are collected and sorted. A dank, briny smell that never goes away, presumably because so many of the parcels spend time in the water before they arrived here. In the back room is a machine ratted by a postal rat, a Rattus Faber, and a pinstriped hat. It shovels sludge-damp letters onto the machine's hopper, and they come out dried, cleaned, pressed, and sorted into slots by size and quality of paper. All right. I could do... make a study of what goes on in the back room. That machinery looks interesting. I will not do that until I have more pages. Pretty good odds for managing the collections window. Better chance of meeting people slightly better. Let's do that. You note down a few parcels in a logbook. You study postal regulations from a manual. You explore all the possible postures for sitting on the postman's stool. It's only at the end of the day that a dignified lady arrives. She wears mauve gloves. She wishes to collect a letter on which she refused delivery 22 years ago. She has difficulty meeting your eye. But the letter is here, filed in its proper slot. Firm and masculine handwriting, signs of limited education, inexpensive paper, no water damage. She does not read it in front of you. She tucks it into a bag and goes out. You are fortunate. An occurrence. Your nuncio worker in Dead Letters quality is now 3 experienced shift worker. You've gained 10 fragments. That's all for now. You have 1 intriguing snippet. All right. That's still a high risk. Converse with the postal rat. How did he get into this line? I'm getting so much lore on the postal quality of this game. Cultish. The postal rat has a pair of spectacles on and is relettering the front of the water damaged envelope, working over the original letters with a tiny brush and ink pot. The repairs are likely to take most of the afternoon. I like to think of myself as in the resurrection business, he says, stopping to look at you seriously for a minute. Where circumstances permit, taking the dead letters and making them alive again. Doesn't often work, but when it does, a miracle. You've gained 1 Nuncio Cultivating Friendship. Alright. Alright. Ask the postal rat for a key to the basements. If you've worked here long enough, you might need one. Okay. He's surprised by the request. Most postmen don't like it down there. No one ever asks for a key, but he'll cut you a new one. Just be careful in there and come out if you start to feel wrong. Alright. Okay, open your pocket. The key is warm in your pocket. There's no way I can't check this out. Deeper and deeper. You had expected a few shelves of supplies, more files of letters, a few years older. No, it is a pit. A pit so deep that lantern light does not show the bottom. A spiral walkway descends along its wall, and that spiral opens wider as it goes, as if you were looking through the narrow end of a very large shell. Lining this wall are shelves and nooks, unevenly sized. Some are a few inches apart and contain single scrolls of papyrus. Others support crates bigger than coffins. They're made of a woody fungus, grown to meet requirements. There are no marks of carpentry or any of the postal rat's handiwork. 3 turns down the spiral, and you feel you can't breathe. Time to leave. You have to come back later. Maybe. An occurrence. Now 5, basement custodian. Your Nuncio learned the postal secrets. Quality is now 5. Explore the lower basements. You've gained 5 terror. Alright. Tell the postal rat about your basement findings. Totally gotta do that. Troubled but not surprised. They say that's been there since before we came. Before there were Londoners in the north. Before there was a dead letter office, there was someone else, and they built the last layer on top of what was there before, and so on. When you press him a little further, he says, I've been down there. Didn't like it much, but I wanted to test my machine. I thought it could handle some of the very old dead letters. That would be a good sign, you know. Evidence the machine was in working order, good, strong, sorting categories, and so forth. He pauses. There's letters down there that set your hair on fire if you so much as look at them. See the bald patch on my left leg? That wasn't a machine accident. Oh no. That cinched right off as soon as I put my nose into one of them letters. An occurrence. Your Nuncio learned in Portal Secrets is now 6. Familiar with flaming letters. You've gained 1 Nuncio Cultivating Friendships, accepted by the locals. You have another tale. Oh, I have a tale of terror, and I now have extraordinary implication. Alright. I'm going to leave this for future exploration. You return to the docks. You're finished here for now. That's great. I don't want to push my luck. I am going to move on. Assemble a port report. Some of those inhabitants were Londoners once. Can we do that? Have we done that? I don't know if we've done that. Explore along the beach. Let's do that. The rocks slip and slither underfoot, but you keep your balance. Oh. Collect material for the dead letter office. This is where the flotsam belongs, so it can be sorted. Take surroundings. Perhaps some evidence of the great hollowness underneath these shores, or back to the docks. Well, let's do the take surroundings. Striking the ground causes the stones to shift and rattle. It is hard at first to hear anything more than that. But if you try long enough and strike hard enough, the whole beach shivers like the surface of a drum. The flotsam letters quiver and align themselves in concentric circles around the point of impact. The next wave brings ashore 3 or 4 times the usual freight. Okay, let's collect materials. You make your way along the shore with a big sack. Many of the envelopes are too damp to read. Their addresses permanently lost, but a surprising number are still legible. There are also parcels. Here and there is a crate, message in a wine bottle, a sealed cask that is bobbed up out of a shipwreck. Your sack ought to get heavy with all these contents, but it pulls upward and away, straining inland towards the dead letter office like an unmanageable dog. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Yeah. Assemble a port report. Cataloging all the peculiarities of this place takes many pages. The tailor who imparts gilt buttons and braid just seems to be able to keep everyone's uniforms in condition. The fashion of wearing a post bag with nothing inside. Wearing it open, wearing it upside down, torn apart as a hat, wearing it in any way that will show it doesn't have letters in it. Then there are the sitting rooms, papered in cancelled stamps. The bergamot pomegranate curd on toast. the commerce in rat corpses, the hatred of cats, the absolute custom against ever issuing a paper invitation for any event, no matter how formal. It is the familiarity, the not quite Londonness of the place that makes it all so odd. You now have one of these, a port report and NCO. So that should be worth a fair bit when I get back to London. And we are just going to boogie out of here. I guess I'm going to go... The Finknottle Vortex. I'm kind of... Oh, we don't have any fuel. This is a problem. I can't get anywhere that I can think of that's going to get me fuel, so... This may be the end of my line. I still seem to be moving with no fuel, which is a little bit concerning. And I think the port is up top here. Yes, it is. And if this place has fuel, then I will have dodged a very, very big bullet. Okay. A source of silver glow, even for players of games. Crumpled convolutions of coral fill the water, glimmering with silvery light. Without fuel, your ship is just an oddly shaped house located somewhere you really don't want to live. Alright, so... let's try not doing this. I've got sacrifices I can potentially make. I could sacrifice the storm. So I could crush you to save you, but it could hardly be worse off. Fire distress flare, abandoned ship. We're not really going to do any of these. We're going to go straight into the shops, which this has, and this is where we buy a whole metric crapload of fuel, or at least as much as we can. Yeah. Can't buy much, though. Alright. Shops. Is there anything we can actually sell? No. We can't sell anything of any importance here. That's unfortunate. This is going to be a serious issue. Port Cecil. Rumpled convolutions of coral fill the water, glimmering with silvery light. The harder you look, the more you see shapes amidst the chaos, almost as if they were sculpted. This one could be a crenellated castle, that one a horse's head. A neat little port huddles into the side coral of a coral island. Prosaic imperial docks and houses tucked away in a baroque organic chaos. In that curious silvery light, among the frozen corals, chaos of coral, the scene has the unreal air of a pencil sketch crumpled and discarded. Chess is popular in the principles. The port is full of exiles, drunks, and washed-up Z-traders. They all play, often obsessively. Be careful, the chess pieces are carved from scintillac. Here in the principles, this can be very dangerous. A straightforward challenge. We needed scintillac for one of our missions at one point, but I don't know if I can even get back to London. So, straightforward challenge. Your page's quality gives you 100% chance of success. Well, let's do that. You don't know how long you've been playing. You want to match another. The rough coral tips of your chess pieces are smeared with blood, yours, your opponent's, but you've begun to realize that your moves recapitulate the movements of the powers of the Neath, and flukes, and their shapelings. The bazaar that lurks in London, Mount Nomad that prowls the sea, salt, stone, storm. With every move you take, the shape of it becomes clearer in your mind, sharper. Checkmate, you say. One more game, your first officer is tugging at your arm. Ignore them, you have chess to play. Win enough games, and something will occur. Gain pages, you gained a secret, okay? 77% chance of success in doing it again. Go for it. Oh, here we go. All right, a disciplined success. Odd thoughts bubble up each time you move a chess piece. This one longs for home. That one has a secret desire for revenge against the slayer of its rank mate. This one will be queen for a day. Those would do better as metal. You taste the metal. You ignore those thoughts and move to methodically a victory over your opponent, who blinks. Checkmate? He asks helplessly. Win enough games and something will occur. Okay, you gained 100 fragments. You gained 1 pages. New total 27. I'm not going to go for the tough challenge. That's just crazy talk. So, sea laps dark around silvery coral. Humps and columns rise from the coral. A bewildering mate, go carefully. Explore the coral reef around the Port Cecil. Okay, sea laps. Yeah, okay, so go carefully. Here we go. Madam, I'm a good seaman. I'm yours if only you'll have me. Will you have me? Also, I'm hungry. I'll work hard. It seems likely enough if a little ragged and sorrowful. Could use an extra hand, but... You won't be sorry. I'll work double watches. Ask anyone. They'll tell you I have a good name. Yes, yes. Eventually get him to stop talking. His enthusiasm is promising if a little pitiable. Welcome aboard, stranger. You've gained a crew. That's all for now. Alright. This is a sailor came begging you to for a berth. He's done good work this one, but he's keeping a little shrine to the salt that almost gone to the horizon at the back of the hold. That's fine. You let him keep his salt circle and his chalked arrow. That night, as you stand on the foredeck, a soft breeze comes out of the east. The salt's direction tussles your hair and passes. I now have the god of the Z salt's attention. Certain matter has become clear. Oh, okay. Gather intelligence. What happened here? The older inhabitants of Port Cecil carry on coral crustaceans like a disease, splotched with silvery light. They like to go up in the limestone heights behind the harbor to lay their heads against the pillars and towers, stare at the roof of the Neath, dream open-eyed. Sometimes they speak of things far away, the Connate's work, the smuggler's wars, the Fathom King's secrets. Perhaps it's not all invented. You now have a port report, Port Cecil. Okay. Okay, I do not have a chess piece, so perhaps not. Let us move on. I don't have enough for any additional fuel. I wonder if I head straight back, if I can even remotely make it. I do have 2 fuel. Maybe I can find another port en route. Alright, let's give this a go. If I head due west, where will I end up? I'll end up basically smacking into Nuncio, but we know that that didn't have any ports. If I then go further west from that, I'll cut straight across this darkness and maybe I can find a port. Regardless, I'm either going to die on the way back, I'm going to find a port. If I die on the way back or I manage to get to London, I'm going to call it there. If I will fuel up and continue heading. Well, I can't fuel up. I have nowhere to sell anything. That's the problem. Some interesting lore in the logbook. Scuttering and chittering in the corners of the hold, humped shapes on the dock, ratsy air emboldens vermin, so there's vermin loose. Our fuel reserves are empty, so I am likely to die on the way back, but I just, I don't have a lot of choice because I didn't plan this out. So it takes about my whole fuel reserve to get all the way out there. I either need more fuel reserve or I need to be cleverer about how I do it. Bonnie Reefs. Really? I'm not stopping for you, buddy. Oh, I may have to. because I have no fuel. So this is where I go down. There we go, shipwrecked. So I knew that was going to happen. Did not plan my fuel out well enough, but that's okay. So, your ship founders, their screams, etc., etc., perhaps will be remembered in the song. The Undersea does not forgive, and it does not, and it has not forgiven your third captain. Choose a legacy to repair. Okay, so once again, I'm going with correspondence because I want to keep the map as I'm figuring this game out. So that's what I'm going to do. But now I'm going to call this game good. So what I'm going to do is I am going to shut this down, and I'm going to go to my VR station, and I'm going to get some water, and I'm going to spark that game up again because I still have a couple of hours left in that, and I promised I would. So that's where I'm going to go, and I will be back in moments. I hope you stick with me, but if you don't, thank you so much for stopping by my stream, and I'll see you in my next one. Or the one after that, because my next one will, in fact, be Outer Wilds again. See you there.